Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. So I kind of built my Heng'e, um, though she obviously doesn't have any emblems, or I mean we have a budget aura, no emblems yet, as many of you know. I like to do things when we have the double events on, so I won't be farming emblems until next week, and that's when the event will be on, right? So we'll all look forward to the second part of the anniversary. So before we start, and in the title you probably saw, we're giving the information for the first giveaway. So I will be selecting 5 lucky winners from the comment section below, and I will do that a week from now. So on September 10th, I will be selecting the 10 winners. Sorry, the 5 winners, and I will be sending them to the devs. So you will be then receiving your gems hopefully a few days after. The way we're doing this giveaway is that you must comment in the comment section below and answer the following question. And the question will be, what will be your suggestion to make the in-game chat system better? And today we have our chat system, and whenever we get a notification from someone, we do get a little red dot. But I think my suggestion would be, I hope they implement this already. But in our chat section, there should be a place where we easily find the chat settings. It used to be so you have to click up here for notification, right? Like ideally it would be like settings button or something, but notification here, like red dot setting. Like by default, we should show all these things. So I guess they fixed that. It used to be on I don't remember if I turned this on or in game it was default on, but definitely these should be showing up. And you have to slide over to delete. Maybe you can just have the delete on the side, making it a little bit easier. So yeah, please leave a description below in the comment section on how you like to improve the chat system. And maybe we should just click op. Yeah, I'll leave it to you to come up with the suggestions. And again, 5 lucky winners. What I'll do is so make sure you write the comment, put down your unique in-game ID. So in here, you can see your game ID there. Um, put that in the comment section. And I know you know uh, there's only maybe a few hundred of you that watch my videos, so and not a lot of you take the time to leave the comments. So if you listen to this, really the chance of winning 500 is pretty big. So yeah, in the comments section below, please do that. Okay, on to the main content of today's video. A lot of you are probably wondering, how should we use Heng'e? How do we actually beat Heng'e? Kind of ever built. This is kind of like the early stages. I think we'll see a little bit more of it. I think we see enough of the tanky meta. Um, here we're just gonna show beating them using my standard Lydia cleave. What makes Heng'e really dangerous? It's not Heng'e, it's Lydia. It's still Lydia. Lydia, Nordak, you know, Santa is really where the damage mitigation comes in because Lydia reduces, the damage you're doing by 30%. That's making it tanky enough. And, we'll show the difference a little bit. This is me, cleaving, someone on the same Kraken level. Stat-wise, we're looking at close to over 100, sorry, over a million HP for the most part. But, we're cleaving it through, right through. Um, if maybe a little bit highlighted interesting build, if you do have, the Walter Poison aura, I actually put it on on Popper there, and then gave Lydia the full blue skill bonus one. This is the best way to maximize your damage. So if you're, struggling to squeeze out that extra bit of damage to cleave, um, this is what you're looking for. And here again on 8 Nick, so 8 Nick again, you can look at the power. These are Kraken levels, okay? You guys are not facing these for the most of you, but that's why I said, if you can beat these people before, you probably still can beat them. We'll find some E3 Heng'e, but really the defensive capability of Heng'e is already present at E1 or even E0. Um, what's um, you know, she won't stop your AoE cleaving. So this is against Nick. Again, we can see, Nick is a little bit stronger, more HP on the Panda there. Now I think I got lucky with this one because I got the proc from Focus. But just to put things in perspective, this is my Nita. The effective hits around 150. Popper has the Poison Echo. I'm using the Skill Master Echo here. So yeah, just put things into perspective. The mastery on Nita is 150. So we can slow down and just look at the damage numbers I'm doing, so you can compare them to yours a little bit. Okay. The thing here is, what's gonna die is still gonna die. And no, in both videos, right, we're dealing with the E3 Lydia, so the damage I'm doing is a little bit less. But you can see there, that's a lot of damage. Um, but here, many of you know I don't have a Lydia. I plan to get one, but you can see my my E3 Heng'e wasn't doing much in these defenses. Um, oh, sorry, this is not. I gave up on it. I mean, okay, Yuzuki can beat me any day, but let's. Oh, they gave up on this attack. But this was on. Sorry, this was on my other team. This is. Okay, so that's interesting. He was attacking into me with there. Now you see there's your E3 Lydia on my and E3 Heng'e. Yeah, this is my standard anti-Lydia cleave, and you can see he didn't do anything. He just got cleaved completely. I'm like, of course, this, if you ever see this kind of, thing, so you can see, right? Like, oh, I'm impressed. He survived. Um, and that was a very big nuke, but everybody came back to alive, right? This is where Bunny is super important. And the other thing with Heng'e is you can't do anything to reduce her cooldown. Thank goodness. Otherwise, we'll be seeing focus into Heng'e. Um, but yeah, this team will be able to beat, your Heng'e team, assuming you are on kind of similar levels. Um, but if you couldn't beat these people before, like I had a hard time beating uh, Izuki. Um, I'm still gonna have a hard time beating him, so it doesn't really change things much. We can, and you can see that, here's when I have him on defense, right? And you can quickly see that, you know, even though it's an E3 Heng, I'm still gonna die. Um, I protect one ally, but the rest of the team's gonna get wiped out, right? So that's why to beat Heng'e, you need that AoE capability. Lydia is what's actually gonna, stop the damage a little bit. Let's take a look. I was trying really, really hard on Phil yesterday, so um, this is Phil's defense, and think I had a I had a composition. Okay, so maybe I'll go to that. All I can tell you is doesn't matter how I try. The most I could do is bring down a Lydia and a Nordak, but when you have, I mean, let's just show his stats for a sec here, okay? And I think there's like probably less than 5 people in the game that can hit this kind of stat. Just look at that Hender, right? And I'm about to get hit by the Wrath. Like I can't cleave through this. Like he is not dying. He's not dying. And when Heng'e goes, I'm gonna be hit by like a million damage. And boom. So again, this is what I said. Like, I wasn't touching Phil before. I'm not. I'm definitely not touching him anymore. Jokes aside. But I mean, there are compositions that you know you, there are other compositions where it helps you anti-Lydia on this, and I'll show you the other one that I've been using. Um, um, and this was yesterday, and you can see that my defense was definitely this is the one I was using, and it's holding up. It holds up against a lot of people. Hero was trying to beat it another way. We can see this one, right? This is where people are thinking, hey, let me just cleave. Oh, and I think he did manage to cleave me here, I think. But the thing is, you can't kill Nita when you don't bring your own Nita. And you can see, like did nothing, right? Like the key here is, you get into a Nita versus Nita, you're going to be defending effectively against it. So more of the story: don't ever bring Nita versus a Nita fight because you don't know how to finish that Nita, right? Um, Aaron, as usual, wipes them all out. Okay, so this is from the other day. Let's talk about some of the last few attacks where I kind of used that team. So this is against Justice for Rice, and again, these are like people with 800k teams. Let's showcase the first team. So this is now against the Lydia and against the um, Heng'e here. Okay, so the idea of this team is you have a Nordak and a Panda that's going to help you tank, and get the first turn because they're using they're controlling you up front, right? And where you're leveraging here is you're using Heng'e to do the strip, and then you are then, doing the double Nita afterwards. So this allows you to do a little bit more damage than the standard, Nita cleave setup. Just because the fact that you're going on the second turn, you're getting, if you're lucky, you're able to get some of the the, the additional bonus procs from the stamps, the boost from there. Here is again someone who is on a higher level than me, so you can see these people are not pushovers, right? Like just looking at the power there. So against MongoDB, again on this team, and this one we're up against a Lydia versus a Donald here. And what's interesting about this fight, interesting, um, is that my Nita did get one shot, I believe, and you can see how long he hang on because of the Lydia debuff uh, on him. Okay, so this is going to be a very long fight, but we'll walk through it. Meantime, I'm using the this echo on Panda because Panda is going to be able to fully take advantages because I'm actually hitting the some of the thresholds on effective resistance. So my team is getting the attack up. Whoever Panda mainly target will get the crit damage one as well. Um, now, so now you see the Resolute up. That's very high damage there. Um, okay, maybe this wasn't the one. There was a video. There was a particular. Okay, he did manage to kill it. Um, this is where both Hannah and and Lady died. So it was a close one. I mean, I had to find a way to finish this Donald, and you can see I'm constantly just passing all my buffs over to him. But if I don't buff up, I'm gonna die. So yeah, Lydia, Donald, um, it's still a very annoying thing to deal with. I don't think we need to watch the rest of it. I mean, this goes on for the next maybe 100 turns eventually. Um, I lucked out where, yeah, like there you go. His shield, I was able to strip and kill him in the same turn. But you know, this is the kind of Kraken level power you're dealing with. But that's two team examples fighting Heng'e and how to use Heng'e in a slightly different way. Heng'e is really good in those slow teams, right? But there are some ways to mix it up. I don't have a Lydia. Ideally, you have a Lydia, but if you're a newer player or you missed out on Lydia, but you managed to get Heng'e now, here's some suggestions on how to take advantage of her kit. Um, okay, so this is another one. I mean, I think this is a much weaker player, but you can see it just becomes very much one-sided. I think Heng'e alone wiped it out. So, if you're trying to cleave, it's not going to work. Um, Yeah, it just gone. Okay, so she's still very tanky. But if you are successfully nuking with Nita for Nita focus, you still can nuke through it. So hopefully this gives you a good sense of, what Heng'e is capable of in PvP. We have people in our chat that showed people using Heng'e clearing 30 in in Faction Abyss already. I mean, I didn't push any further. Um, I mean, she's very strong. I'm missing Timmy. Um, this is a key hero that's gonna really help. I mean, we can give it a try. I don't know how far we're gonna get. Um, in PvE, what I'll say is she's gonna be strong, but again, this is where, if you have a Lydia team, you need that Nordak to be able to pair up with her. To be otherwise, when she starts protecting all of her allies, your team is just gonna go down very quickly. So that's not gonna be helpful. Oh my, this is this is. Oh, I need to make sure that I get rid of the because Popper's just killing himself now. Um, what's interesting, what I just realized is he is putting poison on himself, right? He's putting the poison dot, but I don't think he's actually taking poison damage, right? So for those of you who are too worried about using it, was there poison damage? Like how much poison damage is Popper really taking? Okay, so next, I think it's not a lot. It's like a few, yeah. So, and we're gonna wrap this up. Next time she takes a turn, I'm gonna shit. Popper is going to. Okay, we're gonna just answer that question in a moment here because I think after this one, Popper gets a turn. So just watch. Oh, did I just protect it? But you can enjoy the amount of damage Heng'e is doing. Okay, so Popper took. Okay, so the poison's around 45k, so it probably scales off your own mastery and attack. So, okay, yeah, next time note to self if I'm ever doing PvE content, definitely make sure we don't we don't do something stupid like bring poison on yourself. Um, okay, so bring Popper is helpful because Popper is going to reduce the enemy turn meter, but you're still going to die. So, because you can't really reduce the boss's turn meter too much. So yeah, at this point, I'm not gonna be able to do this content, but people in our guild have cleared 30 with her, and you can see the team definitely has her in it. I think if you watch the boss guide, I think you know Bijou just cleared it and Bailey as well. So yeah, you know you want Timmy, you need Ina to tank it for sure. Ina is a very good tank. French is required. So this is kind of your solid team there. People have shared with me in guild that they're able to do Grillen um, 37 or 38 with her in it as a direct DPS. So farming it, this is pretty solid. Um, in this team, she does about maybe a third of the damage. The other, most of it is actually coming from Jack, surprisingly. Um, we do start to see her show up in grilling a little bit. Has anybody cleared higher? Nobody cleared higher, but 38 has just been cleared by people using her. So the direct damage component, we're not even using bleed anymore. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like people are not using bleed to get to that stage. So there you go. So for Krakens, it's it's a fantastic tool. It really reflects on it on the stats. So end of the day, she's very stat heavy, because even though it says, oh, just get HP and effector resistance, that's if you're using her in your support role. If you're using her in a damage role, you need to get your crit and crit damage up, because the additional damage there, uh, this extra damage can crit from the stored energy component. So you definitely want to make sure you have the crit in there. I mean, the other day I just showed the mechanic, right? So you had the second portion of that damage is crit. If we do not have it um, here, let's just show the difference of crit versus no crit. I think it's easier to do it in here. She is in the nameless trial, right? So we're gonna, she has no crit right now, and we're gonna watch. There should be, she has no stored energy, so we should see really only two numbers, 1, 2, and the second part you can see there's the stored energy crit, and there are ones where it's not critting. Okay, hold on. So now she's taking some damage. Good. We're gonna reset that. Gonna watch that again. We'll pay attention to this number here. So it's white, not critting, and the bottom is crit, right? So now we want to confirm the second part can crit. Okay, the stored energy will be the bottom number, and you can see the second number also crit, right? So that's why for her to be a substantial damage dealer, you do need to build in the additional crit stat, which is not part of the recommended stats here. But if you need her to do damage, crit is important, so you can't forego crit. And the effective resistance caps out at 150. So she's very stats hungry. So, you know, if you are a relatively new player, you you definitely need, the tough set to get that HP and effective resistance. Or you can go for the Slay set and trying to look for pieces with a lot of effective resistance. I don't have an HP, and I don't have many pieces looking like that. So, oh, this one might be, a viable piece. So, something that starts with crit and effective res might be good with her. And then maybe if I throw on something like I'm trying to find pieces that actually work. So like if I get like all HP rates here, that might be a good one. Um, I actually think I might have a solid piece on HP. So for example, do I have effective res in there? No, no. Well, maybe this one, but it's unless I get perfect rolls in both of them, this is not going to be a viable because it's 5-star. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of how, I'm thinking about how you should be thinking about building her. You want effective res, you want to build up the crit. Um, Mine is nowhere near some of the, Krakens out there. So, how much I can get out of Heng'e, even though she's E3, um, it's kind of mediocre. So, what's the verdict for those of you who are, who are about an hour and a half away? Do I blow my resources away at summoning her? I'll say that she's not an absolute must-have. If you're a Kraken, yeah, I mean, putting her in the team does make your tankier version of your team a little bit tankier. I mean, we can show her performance in I mean, I did put her on my defense um, in this particular team. Like, this is her in that particular team, Mr. Bob, you know, wiped the floor with me. Let's take a look. Um, and again, what I'm trying to show you is, people fighting on the same level. I think, okay, so is my, okay, I got one. I'm not sure why my focus didn't get a chance to go there. Maybe, was it? I think there was a Ben Austin reset at the beginning. But you can see the way he's fighting is he's really focusing down on my Heng'e now, right? Because trying to kill someone on your team is very difficult, but Heng'e, no one's protecting Heng'e. So after you kill Heng'e, you can kill the rest of the team here. Okay, let's see. Drew. Drew attacked me. Did Drew kill that team? Oh, okay. This is the team that survived against Drew. Um, Vadar attacked me. So you can see this is like the strongest defensive team on my team. Vadar did not bother attacking that one. Uh, Lakia took it out. So let's see how Lakia took out this team. Or Laika. So, and this team doesn't even have a Lydia or in it, right? Oh, the anti strip from Marvel. Oh, that's smart. So then, you know, okay, so clearly this was um not a auto skip because he manually attacked and was trying to focus down. You can see the little arrow here where he was trying to focus down my but yeah, Marvel definitely is a great addition pair with Nordak. I think I said that in a video previously, but um, yeah, if you can't strip, you can't kill. So that kind of explains why I lost that one. Let's see if we have any other examples we can take a look at. Joker with, wow, I got attacked a lot of number of times. So you can see this is holding up really well. Another victory. We can see how, oh, he just gave up. Okay, so these people are actually attacking manually. I just skip. Our, okay, so this was from the prior day where before I had so yeah, so you know, fighting people on the same level, obviously, um, she's very strong. Will add to it, but don't expect her to like all of a sudden, raise, where you were at before to a whole new level. She's not gonna be a game changer for you. You're not gonna be suddenly, beating people who were miles out of reach from it. So overall, the verdict is, it's strong. It's more than strong and balanced. I think more she is very stats hungry. So if you're able to provide the stats for her, um, you know, she's definitely going to be really strong. Um, she's one of those stats. It's very stat dependent heroes, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a great addition to the megalodons out there. But for the average player, you're gonna have a hard time really bringing out her full potential because she's gonna protect the rest of your ally and get herself killed if she doesn't have enough stats, or she's not gonna do enough damage if you don't have exclusive 2 or 3. So keep those things in mind. Yeah, so I think that covers it. Gandalf out.